Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the People's Choice Podcast. And I got a very special guest here. I'm here with Blade. He's part of the Faltering Line, the amazing rock band coming all the way from Fontana, California. I'm so excited to have him on. We're going to talk about his new single, Astrayed, also future project plans, get to know him more, not just, for the music, but get to know him. So I'm real excited about this. Let me give a clap and welcome to the People's Choice Podcast. I know, right? The clapping can mean so much to some people. See, I like just taking this off the stand. Just feel so much more comfortable like this, man. So, Blade, how you doing today? How you doing this morning?
Doing good, brother. How about yourself?
Man, I am doing fantastic, man. So I just want to start off. I always want to start off from the beginning, from like everyone's career, who I've had on. So let's start with, your upbringing from Fontana. That's that right? Fontana, California. That's where you're from?
Well, it's where the band started from. I'm currently now in the Victorville area. But,
okay.
Our band's kind of dispersed. So we have a guy in San Bernardino. I'm in Victorville, and then our our other one's in Chino.
So awesome. Let's start with the basically just the band. Like how you guys got started together and really decided like, hey, I want to take this to the next level. Because you hear about people with their friends, they start off and then they branch off and they never do music ever again. But for the ones that stick with it, like I just love the backstory and everything. So let's start from there.
Oh yeah, so we started. Well, I've always been trying to do band, like do music. So I just freshly moved out to Fontana, and I met Josh. He's our bassist, and we became friends. This was like junior year of high school, so we were like 16, 17 maybe. But it started from there.
I just wish you could go back to those days, man.
Dude, I would. I would do.
I would kill. No, I'm playing.
I would. Nations would be under my rule. But no, yeah. But then we met Matthew, who was our drummer at the time. And then through him, his brother, Chris, who became our guitarist. And then we wanted to bring on a fifth, and Josh's brother, Efren, he came on. So it started off as that was our 5-piece. It went pretty strong. Efren did take lead from the band just because of school.
Yep.
So we were a 4-piece for a while, doing pretty well. I mean, we got signed to Cleopatra Records.
Yeah, congrats. I saw that on there too.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, it happened right when COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the whole world stopped. Everything stopped. So for a small band like us, like that killed all that momentum. Unfortunately, yeah, it just not much came out of it. Just because everyone suffered. And we released an EP. Which it did unfortunately just all that momentum just with COVID, yeah, that happened. So then right when COVID was lightening back up, we started looking for another guitarist because we were going to start playing shows again. And we found Chris, and then through Chris, there was two Chris's, so we called him K though, but yeah, Chris, because he spelled his name Chris with a K. It was Kris. So we always called him K. But yeah, through him, after when he joined, we started playing shows again, and then we were writing new material, and we went through Josh Gilbert, the bassist of As I Lay Dying. He produced our single Forlorn.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then after that, that happened. We started getting that traction that we had right before COVID. It was starting to build back because we had to start when COVID made us legit start from like day one. Almost, it felt like we started from day one, and so we were finally getting momentum back. And then Chris K, he took a leave from the band to pursue another avenue, which all up to that guy. He did a lot for us, and we have nothing but love for the guy.
Definitely.
And then our new guitarist Thomas, he entered the band, and Thomas has been great. And then when Thomas came back, we really started getting that momentum right before COVID happened. Really started to pick up. We worked with a lot of great promoters, bands, or the shows since Thomas has just been great. Just everything has been great. And then we went in to record Astrayed, and then we just released it on the 21st, and here we are today.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man, on your new release. And it's crazy, like I'm just doing my research on you, and seeing that you guys were signed and seeing it was in 2020. And before I even got finished reading it, I was just like, damn, like, because we knew what 2020, like COVID, that had to be just so heartbreaking, man. Like,
no, it really was. It really fucking sucked.
I was gonna ask, did it ever get to a point where it was just so heartbreaking where you just was about to like walk away from music because it was just so unknown with COVID, or like was it just something in you like, no, we gotta keep this going?
I mean, there's not a single thing on this earth I personally see myself doing other than music. Sure, I have a backup plan, but there's nothing else I would rather do. Even if the world ended, I'd still be in a corner making music. Like, that's just it's my thing. I feel like I was born to do. So no, I don't. But did it get scary? It sure did. I was like, damn, dude, like that. I was pretty bummed out for a minute. Just everything just kind of fell apart, and for a minute there. I mean, the whole world did. So to live, to be able to say I lived in a scar in history, because I mean that's history. We lived through a world like event.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I mean, like if anything, there is positive from it, because I see it as now getting out of COVID. The world is in a lot of pain. I mean, that's all you see on the news now. It's just pain from all these tragic events that are happening literally everywhere. And a lot of people are angry. And I hope that we can be one of those bands that can be a part of it, be a part of that release for people, because I believe music is supernatural and
100%.
It can do wonders. So I hope we can we can remedy that. So,
and I really believe you will. I was listening to your new single Astrayed. We could talk about it right now. Like, I mean, it was just awesome. Like, and I love, like, it took, like, I think somewhere around the 30 something to 40 something seconds before you even hear the first lyric. It's just, you're just killing it with, with your instruments and everything. Like, and the guitar, like, I love it, man. Like, I was just listening to it earlier, right before we, we started. I was like, man, this is hot, man. Let's talk about that process and, like, say the backstory behind the new single.
Yeah. So, Astrayed was the second song we wrote with Chris K when he was in the band, and it was new for me because that chorus, where I holding those notes for me personally longer than was different. Everything was different about Astrayed through all of our previous work, because you have a heavy beginning, you have a kind of groovy verse, and then you have this melodic chorus, which we've yet to have done. So for us to be able to do that it was new and it was a lot of fun to do. And then the recording process, we did that with Gage. His name is Gage with Siren Productions. Gage has been an angel. He is because we're already back in the studio with him for another song, but he pushed us so much on that song, because that song, with like the strings, the piano in it, just everything, that's all him. I mean, the song like was a lot more bare bones than what you hear today than it without before Gage. I mean, the everything is still there, like the melody, the riffs that were still that those are still ours, like we wrote, but he made that thing so 3D,
Mm-hmm.
something that we weren't able to do. Um, and then he made it that way. I remember like with vocal recordings, I sang for like 6 hours straight. Like
Oof.
he pushed me so hard to make sure I'm hitting those notes right. I'm making sure I'm delivering properly. Like that was like one of the most intense moments I've ever had, like getting vocally pushed. So I mean, Gage has just been I love working with that guy, and we plan on working with him for quite a while. We're already back
Awesome.
in the studio with him, recording a third single.
That's
So
all. That's awesome. Can we get a sneak peek for all my peeps, like our audience, what we
I
can
mean,
expect from
we
that?
have no, we can't. No, unfortunately, no, we don't have anything to show. But I can tell you one right now, though.
Mhm.
Like because this song, we plan on like really pushing for a radio play. And
Awesome.
I think we've written a song. I can humbly and confidently say I think we've written a song that will definitely put us on the map. I'm not saying we're going to become famous after this gets released,
Hmm.
but what Gage has pushed us to do with the instruments and even me as a vocalist, I feel like this song I'm really stoked. It like for me vocally, the notes I have to hit for this song, and then
Hmm.
just how creative the instruments are, and every how everything just plays and flows, and the story of the song, the feeling of the song is it's he's done so much work, and we're very very stoked to do it.
So I feel excited, and stoked just hearing it, man. Like just hear you talk about it. Can't wait for it to come out. So for all my peeps and new audience, you guys gotta stay tuned.
Yeah,
So
that'll definitely be coming in the coming like months. Like I still got to go back in for some more recordings vocally, but everything's pretty much written. It's just now to get it finalized and all like the special little touches and
mhm.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Can't wait. And you got the support from me and all the People's Choice podcast. Definitely push that out once it comes. And same for the Stray. I got to do my part on pushing that too. I really enjoy the single.
I'm really glad you enjoy it. Yeah, that one I was very happy with. I was like just for me personally, I was like, this is a victory. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a straight banger. I like it, and shout out to Gabe for all the hard work behind the scenes, because we wouldn't even known that the grind of the 6 hours, and with all the stuff in the background like that. That's awesome that it came
It
together.
was 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Man, that was a hell. Both days too for recording instrumentals and vocals. It was a whole day thing. So
Mhm.
it was great. It was really.
Awesome. So Blade, who are some of your favorite like influencers or idols like that really mold you into the musician that you are today?
Um, I have quite a few. But like for anyone that knows me, they know my answer. It's Jonathan Davis from Korn. As a I don't think there's a single vocalist like him. Um, and I growing up since man, I've been listening to Korn since middle school, and um, yeah, there's just not a band that has captivated me emotionally, spiritually, and I just in touch with just his music. It's great, and he really made me want to do music. I want to do what he did, make the music like he did. I want to. touch people with my music the way he has done for millions of people. I mean, there's not a single band in the world, in my opinion, that could even not say like, oh, better or nothing like that, but the fact of what Korn is, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like there's anyone close to them musically and just like their whole sound as in general. So I hope I can do that as well, because that all those guys inspired me to push myself to today. Yeah, but definitely Jonathan Davis from Korn has been just an everyday like a my like my messiah, my like I want to be him one day. I want to yeah. But yeah, also David from Dave from Depeche Mode. I'm a huge Depeche Mode fan. I love Depeche Mode. His stage presence, the way he sings. Because I don't just sing like metal music. I do other types of vocal styles. Like that's my goal as a vocalist, is to be able to do different types of vocal styles. So, but when it comes to like the softer music, the more melodic, like I look to a lot of him. I look to a lot of Serj Tankian from System of a Down. Panic at the Disco. I grew up on Green Day. I grew up on, and then Corey Taylor from Slipknot also is a huge inspiration for me.
Wow, that's 2 weeks in a row I've had a Slipknot shout out. That's pretty cool. Yeah, dude, I've interviewed tons of bands on the podcast, so I'm like, this is pretty cool.
By the way, I'm sorry if I itch my eye a lot. I have terrible allergies right now, and it's oh my god, it's terribly acting up right now. But
it's all good.
But yeah, so yeah, Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Just like I even try to embody some of his on stage presence, because like that man is powerful, dude. Like that, his vocals are they're just so powerful. When he delivers, and even his natural melodic singing voice, everything is it's always powerful. But when it comes to like screams, my biggest is Phil Bozeman from Whitechapel, and the late Mitch Luker from Suicide Silence. Those are the ones that really got me into like when I do my screams, like they're my idols. But lately, William Ramos from Lunar Shore, his screams are just the most, and I mean this in the most like best way, but the most vile, disgusting, guttural screams I've ever heard, and they make my hair rise, man. That guy is a fucking, oh my god, he's definitely, Lorna Shore is definitely going to be a huge fucking band in the coming days. Like they're and then they're already huge, but they are definitely they're definitely bringing like that deathcore, death metal, like they're really bringing it back to like they're going to be definitely one of like the major ones coming up. So
big shout out to them.
Definitely. Yeah, but I mean, I have a lot, dude. Because like I said, like I want to be a versatile vocalist. That's my thing. So I try to learn from everything, from everybody.
That's good, man. They have a lot of different, idols, because it'll keep you, like fresh, where it's like instead of like, people that like idolize like one type of band or one person, and it's almost like they're like copying them almost, like, but like I feel like when you have multiple, it's like you get a little of this, little of that, little, you know what I'm saying? So
and then you create your own sound from it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Definitely. I feel like that's the best way to do it. So let's talk
one time. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was saying, yeah, that's awesome. I was gonna say, let's talk about your EP that you guys dropped. From, I believe it came out in 2020, so I know that was a crazy time because again with COVID and everything. But you named it after the band, so I thought that's pretty cool, unique. And what is your favorite song on there? And just the overall process of the EP.
I mean, like the EP was literally our first song we've ever written. I mean, ever, in a garage in San Bernardino. I mean, like it was the first ones. We do wish we were able to financially put a little bit more money into the EP, so that production, because if you listen to the EP versus Forlorn and Astrayed, the production value is not even like can even be compared. It's but the guy who did our EP, Scott, he was like almost like a father. Like he was so cool with us. He was so cool. Like he was really kind. He was so kind. And it was fun doing it. It was our first time being in like in a studio doing like, you know, something like that. So it was a lot of fun. But I would say my favorite would probably be Split or Hexter Blessed. Split's like my tearjerker song, but like my first one I ever wrote. But yeah, no, Hexter Blessed is probably my favorite, definitely. But I know a lot of people like Zombie. I know a lot of people like Zombie.
That was actually the first song when I put you guys in Spotify that popped up for me. That was a good one too. I like that one.
Yeah, but the only thing is I wish we were a bit, because I mean COVID happened. I know I got laid off. I know another one of our other guys got laid off, and we only had like $500 to our name. So but I wish, and we've always kind of low-key talked about it. We're like, should we go back and just get that whole like just that the EP like remastered, like with, you know, with money behind it? But yeah, it's always been kind of like a, should we? Yeah, should we? But yeah, maybe later on. But I mean, like, because I mean that was written. I mean, those were our first songs, like our first ever as songwriters, like together. That was our first songs. So yeah. So I mean, but like you know, we grow as musicians. So when you listen to Forlorn and Astrayed, you can definitely tell we've matured and grown. Everyone's like how they play, what they do, everything is grown. So yeah,
because I see your videos on Instagram too. I mean, you guys just kill it on stage, man. I would love to put some of that those videos on to this video, just to show like just your stage presence and everything, man. It's truly awesome.
We've gotten a lot better with that, especially with me, because I'm on like a weight loss journey.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Yeah, I've actually lost a lot of weight. But being able now, I have, you know, like performing yesterday. I mean, even though I was a little fucked up because it was like we were partying because of the birthday thing, but like, but I like being able to, I don't know, have more breath and being able to move around. Like I really want to move around, like, you know, because like I said, you know, I grew up watching Jonathan Davis and Corey Taylor and, you know, Mitch Luker and all, like how they perform live and how much energy they give. I want to do that. Like I always try to get the crowd to move with me, because I also like to do like my little, I don't know, trance. I do like a little dance, and like I like to move. So like being able to move around and just it's a lot more fun. It brings a lot more joy, because you know you're not just trying to please people's ears, but you're trying to give them a show.
Oh yeah.
To entertain. So we definitely have tried to be a lot. We always try to improve that as well.
Well, man, you're doing a great job already as it is. So I can't wait to see you, you know, further down your weight loss journey, to see how, you know, your stage presence and everything is going to be. Well, what are you currently doing with that weight loss journey? I'm actually a little on one myself, actually. So that's why I'm like just kind of curious.
So dieting, because I used to not be a heavy guy. I used to be back in high school. I was actually a freshman on the varsity football team. I played travel hockey, ice hockey. I even did some club soccer. I mean, I was always a very athletic kid. I feel like that was one of my born natural talents, was athleticism. But you know, life took a left turn, and I lost my way, and I let myself go for a long time, which unfortunately I'm paying the consequences for, but I'm trying to do better. Well, I am doing better, and I am doing it. I'm not just trying anymore. I am doing it because yeah. But since for like almost like half year, about, I've been I just right now. Well, for the beginning, I was just trying to just get myself in the mindset, become disciplined. So I didn't go straight into like a strict diet. I didn't do anything very strict. My goal was to get my ass just to the gym. Like, just do that. At least let's start with that. Like getting myself in the right mindset, the right discipline, because you can be as motivated as you want, right? Motivation, right?
Yeah.
motivation is a killer. It's a
It is.
extreme double-edged sword.
Mhm.
Motivation is something you do when you're sitting there in your bed, 3 a.m. at night. And you're like, oh God, I can't wait to, look the way I want to look, like Henry Calvin from The Witcher. You know what I mean? Like, all that motivation in the world. But it's the discipline. Grabbing your keys and turning on that car engine and driving your ass to the gym or running down your block. I mean, that's where it. So that was my first thing, was just getting myself in that disciplined mindset, which I've done that. I go about 5-6 times a week.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I make sure I go, even if it's a bad. I'm in a bad day. I'm only there for 10 minutes. I went there. I was
Mhm.
there. I still went, because everyone has a bad day, and not every day you're going to be, it's not it's life. That
Yeah,
it's
of
not.
course.
Yeah. But now that I got the discipline, I feel I can now tackle dieting.
Mhm.
But I mean, through learning discipline, I still cut, like, I wasn't on a strict diet, but I definitely everything was a whole lot smaller portioned. I did semi intermediate fasting.
Mhm. That's
But
right.
now what I do is, because I don't have time because I work a lot. I work
Mhm.
like 2 jobs.
Mhm.
I'm sure you've seen her. She popped up. I have a daughter.
Awesome.
uh, I'm a full-time dad. So I'm always busy. So I don't have time to meal prep. I don't.
Yeah.
I've tried to have time. I just don't. So I buy those like healthy choices, those, or like
Oh,
those.
yeah.
You go to the and there's like the dieting frozen
Mhm.
meals.
Yeah,
I
I
do
go
that.
to Clean Eats. There's one like 10 minutes away from my house. So I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, so I get those. I'll get like 6, 7 of them, and I'll put them in my freezer. I'm like, okay, that's food for like 3 or 4 days. Like, I'll have one in the morning, have one at night. Bam. I'll try to eat something very healthy. Bring myself to choose to eat something healthy. Like, go to the market in the middle for lunchtime and try to get something like something healthy. Obviously, yeah. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not really on like a keto or the insert diet plan. Like, I'm not on any of those like type of diets. I'm just, right now, I'm trying to listen to what my body needs.
Mhm.
Like, getting myself now involved in a healthy lifestyle, and then I'll venture off into a maybe like a more stricter diet or like a more planned out diet. But yeah, for right now, it's just like those healthy choices. I take liposine, which
Okay.
helps me feel full. It helps me. It helps my metabolism break down all that stuff. So um, I do some pre-workout. I don't do too much because I have terrible anxiety. So sometimes that pre-workout, man,
Oh
oh God, it
man.
kills me. Dude. I'll be
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'll work it off because, like, dude, when you take pre-workout, it's like ants under your skin, dude. That is
Yeah.
legalized crack. That pre-workout
me,
is crazy, dude.
me and my brother used to joke about that too, about like how it's like legalized crack. Cause yeah, man, you get hot and you just gotta just, you know what I'm saying? Like
For me,
it's
it's my
crazy.
face, dude. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it on my face, and I'll be like sitting in my car, and I'll just be like, oh, like, and yeah, you have to work it off. But sometimes, even though I work it off, I get home and my heart is just do
Mm.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah, I had to get
but
off the
I
pre-workout.
kind of leaned off. Yeah. But sometimes I do. I'll take like a half a serving.
Okay.
Especially if I have just a long fucking day at work, and I
Mhm.
need that little ooh. I take half a serving. I don't take a full serving anymore. I also take pump sometimes, like especially on my weight days.
Okay.
Uh, my
Familiar
lifting
with that.
days, I'll take pump. So I mean, it's a non-stimulant.
Mhm.
Um, it helps with endurance, brings a lot of blood to the muscle, so it helps with that pump feeling.
Mhm.
Because now I'm experiencing that pump feeling, and dude, that is
Mhm.
that is euphoria when you get that pump. Uh, so it's cool feeling that now. But yeah, but that's my weight loss. That's my journey right now. It's just I've gotten the discipline down. Dieting, I'm really getting really good at it now, and I just gotta just continue, dude. You just just continue and getting back to my to the self I want to be at, where I used to be at.
Definitely, man. Let me give you a round of applause for that, bro. Like that is awesome, man. Especially like, you know, as you're explaining, you work 2 jobs, you're a dad, you got your band, and still being disciplined enough to go to the gym and still trying to diet and portion out. Like, that is amazing, man. Like, congrats to you on that, man. That right there, your story is even just more fuel to keep inspiring me, man. Because there's days where I'm like, man, I could just go for a fucking pizza, man. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, Little Caesars around the corner.
You see Austin Powers, right? You eat because you're unhappy, and you're unhappy because you eat, and it's a vicious cycle. And yeah, I mean, that's what it was. I was in a terrible place, and I've been at a terrible place for the past, man, like 5-6 years. I've been but now, it's time to make a change. And and I also want to do it again for the band. I mean, I want to lose weight for the band. I want to be able to be that front man that the Faltering Line deserves and needs. And I want to be able to, because with me losing weight, I've been able to hit notes, sing a lot harder, and my screams have improved. Because the more airway, the more push, the more all that's improved. And even for my daughter, I want her to have a dad that's around and hasn't died from some like vascular disease or diabetes or something like that. Like, I want to be healthy for her too, so she has a role model.
Definitely, man. And like I said, congrats, man, for real, man. Because it's not easy every day. It's like I tell people, like, when you were athletic, like you said, I relate completely when you say you play varsity as a freshman. I 8-quartered. I didn't play. I didn't start yet. I did sophomore year, but like being athletic and then going through life, and I became a manager at like a fast food place at like 19. So, and I was there until I was like 20 something, gained all this weight, just stopped working out, stopped caring. I recently just got with like a nutritionist and to help me out on that end, because I've upped and down different diets, keto, intermittent fasting, and it's just nothing could stick. Like, I always had a problem with just discipline, And I found out that I'm actually like an emotional eater. So it's like, oh man, like,
I'm the same fucking way, dude.
That shit's real, man. Like,
it's very, and it's almost a disease. It's a mental illness almost, because it's like you eat because you're bored. You eat because you're empty. Like, you're empty. I mean, like inside, mentally, you're just empty. So the fact of eating something, you feel. It fills that the fact of eating, doing the motion and actually putting something in your mouth, you feel it's something to do.
And especially if it's sugar. Yeah, sugar is like,
for me, it was not sugar. It was salt. I had salty things like chips and that was my poison. Yeah.
Mine was like sugar and dough, like, because I love pizza. Like, no matter if it could be the trashiest pizza that someone thinks, or it could be the top notch. Like, I'm devouring both. Like, my family used to joke with me and be like, you're like a black Italian, aren't you? Because I always eat pasta, always eating pizza constantly. Like, it's just not good, man. Like, and talking with my doctor, getting my nutritionist, and seeing like how my health, where I used to be as that athlete, peak shape from like teenage to like early 20s to like where I'm at now. It's like, oh, but now I'm coming out.
I'd be looking at my high school photos. I'm like, oh, I'm so good looking. Oh no.
Exactly. Oh man, like, see, that's so funny. Oh man, I know we gotten a little off the music, but that was so funny. I relate.
It's always good to have. Do you have like a goal? Like you're like, I want to be him. You know what I mean? Like, do you have like who is it?
Yeah, well, so it's gonna be crazy, but like, I've always wanted to be like this guy. He's a bodybuilder, and not that I want to be bodybuilder, but he just always looked at his physique and was like, man, I want to be like Rob Terry.
The aesthetics are everything. Because I'm doing it for the aesthetics too. Like, I'm dipping my toes into bodybuilding and learning how to like to pose and how to properly work out certain muscle groups because I would love to have an aesthetic like that. For me, it's right now it's Henry Calvin, especially from The Witcher. Him in The Witcher. Dude, that dude's a beautiful human being. in that movie or in the TV show. He's
Yeah,
he's
mine's
been like my mental goal.
yeah. I say mine's is Rob Terry. He's a bodybuilder, and I mean he competes in the natural bodybuilding, but I mean sorry Rob, I don't know, man, but I wanted to be like him, man. Or another one is The Rock, even though he's not a bodybuilder, but he's just,
I mean,
he's
I would
built,
say he definitely is. Maybe he doesn't compete, but he's building that body. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, you know.
Or C-Bum.
Yep. Or another one I used to love was CT Fletcher. Like that guy was just, he used to motivate me when I was like a teenager, and you know, even to this day. I mean, now he's, you know, got a lot of health problems and stuff. He's not as big, but pumping constantly still. And even his son, I mean, he's killing it, man. Like, yeah, I just want to be like that. That's like my goal. That's crazy. I know we got off the music a little bit, but it was just interesting to hear that, because I've talked about my health journey on the podcast multiple times, and I don't think I had a guest though that said they're on one too. So I'm like, oh well, let's talk about that. But you know, let's go back to, you know, the music, and you know, we talked about you guys' first EP. Are you planning on releasing a new EP? I know you just released your new single, but do you have a new EP on the way, or even album?
No. Right now we're gonna release this the third single, which we're gonna try to do a major push on like radio, because that's what it is. The song's like kind of like our radio song, that we want to really push out and try to get more. From there, we're gonna continue writing. We want to make sure we're also focusing on our image, so trying to grow our social media, because unfortunately social media is fucking everything in music industry now. It sucks. It's no longer like in the movies where it's like some random producer guy saw you play and he makes you an album and you're huge now. It's now it's about, I remember when we went in talking about record label, the first thing that was ever said was, how many followers do you have on social media?
Yep.
So, you know, it's so growing that, we have to grow that. We just have to now. As well as getting merch. I would love to get like a stabilized, like, you know, have at least 3 shirts, some pins, you know, getting all that, because that costs money. When we have kind of everything, I feel like down, then we'll probably financially push for like an EP, probably an EP, and then continue from there.
So it's a lot really exciting, you know, for all my peeps and new audience that's going to be seeing this, you know, that you guys got, you know, all this cool stuff on the way, you know, another singles on the way, merch also. So like, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. You know, I can't wait. And like I said, you always have the support here from the People's Choice and further on. So I got some staple questions I like to ask. I ask every guest these ones. I'll just give you with probably 3 of the same before we wrap up. All right. So one of them is quotes. Like, I'm a big quote guy. That's probably from the days of, you know, just playing sports growing up to even now. Like, I'm a big quote guy. So what is your favorite quote or saying that you lean on during the good times or the bad times?
There's 2. There's 2. 2 really stick with me. The one I've lived by, for a while, for the past like couple years, is pain is temporary. Which that does not mean that, you know, tomorrow you're going to feel better, or next week you're going to feel better, or maybe in a month to, you know, maybe in a year, you know, but pain is temporary. No matter what you're going through, if you have a cut on your hand to, you know, a tear in your heart, emotionally, pain is temporary. It does not last forever. So that's something that's really helped me through a lot, and to, you know, maybe tomorrow might be the day, you know what I mean? So you just got to keep going, because it's only temporary. That's it's a moment in time, and that moment might last a minute or months, like I said, weeks, years, but it's a moment that will pass.
You know, see, I'm so glad we're talking, Blade, because I've been looking to get a new tattoo, and I literally have nothing in my head. Like, I was thinking, like, do I want to words, or I want to like, and then like when you just said pain is temporary, I'm like light bulb, just like, that's one. So I'll give you credit though. All right, I'll make sure when I get that done, like, because that it's so true, man. Like, no matter if it's a broken heart or physical pain, no matter like Like pain is literally temporary.
Time, it is because time continues.
Mhm.
Everything will continue to grow and to continue to just be what life is, because that's what life is. Life is pain. As much as you love, unfortunately, you will hurt four times as much. Just like the saying, the bigger the bigger they are, the harder the fall.
Yeah.
It's the same way. As much as you love, you will hurt. You will hurt twice as more. So, but yeah, pain is temporary. And then the other one, if you know Joe Aesthetic, I think right, his name is, says a lot in his like snap stories or his Instagram stories is earn your food. Earn your food. So a lot of the times, like when I'm at the gym, and I'm like, okay, did I earn my dinner? Like, did I earn to eat what I'm gonna go eat? Do I need to stay a little longer? Do I need to push? Do I need to do another set? Do I need to run this mile a little bit faster today? Or, I always try to keep myself in check. Like, did I earn my food? So, but that's also, you can translate that to almost anything. Have you earned, whatever you want? Have you earned it? Did you do enough to earn it? So, but lately for that, earn your food is, has been one for the gym, the fitness life.
That is awesome, man. I like that a lot. Earn your food, yeah. Because it just keeps your feet to the fire. Like, are you honest with yourself? You're honest with, how your effort and wow, those are really
even
good.
On my cheat days. Even on my cheat days, like yesterday was technically my cheat day. I did a 6-day workout or 6-day workout week, and I pushed hard because I knew like on the 22nd because that's what we did. We had a show and we were doing like a celebration and we were celebrating. It was also our guitarist's birthday as well, so we were doing like it was mine and his. And awesome. Like I was like, did I earn this tequila? Did I earn this milkshake right now? Like that's why. So I made sure like throughout my whole week, I did a 6-day workout and I pushed really hard to earn that day of kind of celebration in that time. So yeah, so
that's good. That's nice. That's nice. I love it, man. I love it. A couple more simple questions like to ask, and this one is interesting because some of the answers I get. So hidden talents, like I'm big on that one too because people may know you only as the lead singer, or let's say maybe your family only know you or know this as you. But like I like to ask my guests, like, what is a hidden talent that your friends, family, or maybe even fans don't know about you?
I mean, I guess if you would look, I don't know. I guess, well, I mean, it'll be proven soon, but I guess my athleticism, I mean, like, honestly, I know I'm big right now, but like, my athleticism, I think, because, I don't know if that's too hidden. It wasn't hidden at a certain time, but now it's kind of a hidden talent. Like when I run, like I run like if I wasn't big. I don't know if that's coming off the word, like the tongue right, but I don't know. I would say my athleticism, but I don't really have any hidden talents. I don't really, I mean, I'm very, I guess, I don't know, like out of music. I'm smart with like computers and stuff like that. I'll get, one thing, I guess a hidden talent is like my geographical skills. Like I will only need the directions once. Like if I'm driving somewhere, I only need the directions once. After that, I know how to get home. I always know how to get home, no matter where I am, where I'm driving. I always know how to get home. I'm very good about knowing where I am. Because there's been times like we've played some far shows and my phone is dead. And I have no idea, but I know how to get home though. I know what freeways connect to what, because I used to, that was just something like my dad was really good at too. And I became really good at just like geographical skills. Like I know where to go. Like, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Is that like that? What they say, like that photo? Well, that's it entirely there. Cause don't they associate that with like the photogenic memory where you can remember like literally like details of stuff to get home in order to
because that's how I do it. I mean, that's how I do it when I'm driving somewhere. I low key take pictures in my head of like little landscapes of like where I'm at. So and I always remember them. So yeah.
Awesome. See, that's a hidden talent right there, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of something like interesting, man, but no, I don't really. Not that nothing hidden. I don't have really. Yeah.
Hey, that's cool, man. I've had people say they're good cooks multiple times, and it's like, all right, so what's what you're cooking, man? That's what I would say.
I mean, I'm a good cook. I can cook, so.
All right, there we go.
But nothing too hidden. I don't know. I would say, I guess, yeah, those two things. So pretty athletic, and even big, and the geographical, I guess, picture memory.
Awesome. And the other staple question, and I say the best for last, is about gratitude, because that is what keeps me grounded, keeps me humble, keeps me just thankful for the next day. Like my gratitude just it's just off the chain. And I wanted to ask you, what are 3 things that you're grateful for in your life right now? And if it's more than 3, that's fine, because sometimes some people are like, I can't do 3, I gotta do a little more.
Definitely say my daughter. My becoming a dad has been life changing. The way I've seen the world is nothing compared to how I saw it 5 years ago. And it's changing every day. Becoming a dad has, and I respect to the people that when they have kids, they kind of step away from like music. But it's actually propelled me even more forward, because I want to give her the life I never had, or I want the best, and I want to do it through music, and I believe I can still do that. Of course, I always make sure I take care of her and all of her needs are met, and even more, I make sure she has things to where she can be like, oh, my dad did this for me, and but my kid is I would definitely say, and I mean this honestly, I know it's a little dark, but if it wasn't for my kid, I probably wouldn't be alive today. Because the past 3 years have been probably the darkest I've ever had to go through. And my kid has kept me, my 1 foot in reality. So
amazing. This is amazing.
Really grateful for my kid. And I think she right
yeah,
there,
that shit's right there. Yeah.
But yeah, she's been everything. I mean, I my best friend, she's everything, and I love her. So
amazing.
My brother and my dad collectively, because they've been really cool with like my music stuff, and they've always helped out. Like if I needed money for something, they've always been. I would just to say, I guess, family, just general family. Like my family is everyone in my family has been really, really. Even my nana, my grandma, a little old Italian woman. She's still. I remember I showed her my music one time, and she was still dancing, like being all proud of me. So I would definitely say, of course, like my family. I've been always really cool with my music, and I grew up. Everyone's been a musician and or a singer. So especially on my dad's side, they're all jazz. They're all jazz people. So, but yeah, everyone in my family has been really, really great with my music. Third. I would have to, I guess, like in a sense, like shout out my brother from another mother, Josh, like my bassist. Like he's, even though he is leaving, yesterday was his last show with us. He has been my day one. He was day one. Like he was, go play with the toys.
I think this is our this is the second kid appearance I've had in the People's Choice before.
Yeah. Josh was. He started this whole thing. So he's also kept me a lot, grounded and with and he's. I definitely the band wouldn't be where it is today without him. He's always been the one guy in the band that he's just kind of the center. He's done a lot, and it sucks that he is parting ways with us, because just again, you grow up life. I'm 26, he's 26. We started this when we were like 15. Everyone grows up, and his path has took him somewhere, but we're still we still love the guy to death. He's still my best friend. He's been my best friend for over 10 years. So.
Also, and maybe it could be one of those moments where it's like, not goodbye forever, but goodbye for now, and
yeah, maybe, but he's still there. He's still gonna fill in for, because we have a couple shows coming up.
That was my next question.
He's still gonna fill in. He's gonna fill in for us, but it's like his official as an official member. But yeah. And then I guess you said there's always not one word three, but four. I would have to say honestly the music scene itself, the local music scene. Because I was having a talk with this guy last night about it at the show. It's you gotta support the people around you. It's not you don't have to you shouldn't have to see it as a constant competition, like, oh, this band is getting more notice than us, and like, fuck them, or anything like that, or you don't like support, be there. We make it a thing on all the shows that we play. Especially me, I get there at the start, even if we're the headliner of the day, or we're second to last, third to last, or even the beginning, like we were the openers. We stay from all the shows. Sometimes we have work in the morning. Sometimes we have to go leave early. But we make it a effort, and we make it known that we're there to support everyone, because you never know. You never know what could happen from those networks, from those, from supporting each other. I've been working really well for the past 4 shows, working really well with Burnett and Glasstab. Like, those guys from those bands have just been an honest joy to be around for the past 4 shows that we've done. They've just been great people to share the stage with. And like friendships that come out of those things, or like maybe like, let's just say, for an example, one of the bands that we played with, we've always been cool with, we're a cool network with them. Let's just say out of nowhere they blow up, right? And they go on tour, and they get, they want to take someone, and because we've been such good friends, maybe they take us on. So we have that opportunity. You never know what could happen. It's like a butterfly effect. It's true. And you have to be humble. You have to be grateful for every moment. Even if you play in front of a crowd of 5 people, you never know who's in that crowd. You never know who's around, and the networks and the connections that you make with people could have a forever lasting effect down the line. May not be like tomorrow, like something can have, but like maybe a year down the line, there's you never know who you've impressed and you've kept in good relationship with. So true. I always make sure to be humble and grateful for every show that we take part of, and for the people that show up, and we make sure to always support.
That's so true, man. Support the support, man. Like, support locally, shout out people, tag them and stuff, man. It takes nothing and little effort to really, like, just to support someone. So that's always been my big thing. Like, on the podcast, I talk plenty of times and post on social media about support, and it's amazing just what networking can do for someone, down the line. So that's so true, man. Thank you for touching on that too. And man, you've been hitting it, man. You've been killing it, man. With a lot of these answers, man. Like, I know, like, you've been at it for a while, but wow, this is like, you're killing it on this podcast, bro. Thank you, Blake, man, for real. Yeah. No problem. I just got a few more questions. I know one of them is going to be about, up and coming performances and stuff, and what can, our fans expect from you guys.
So May 5th, we are going to be in Corona at the Rockefeller's Bar, at the Cavern. We're playing with a System of a Down tribute band, and they're amazing. And Rockefeller's Bar is that place is going to be like the new whiskey for the IE. That is a place to play at. It's a good venue. It's always a good crowd to play at. We're always extremely excited to play there. Shout out to Young Blood, Nathan, for always booking us there. He's booked us for a lot of his shows, and he's always, we love working with Nathan.
Awesome. Shout out to you, Nathan.
May 26th, Bar and Grill will be May 26th. And that's with a new promoter we're actually working with, Charles. That's going to be a lot of fun. May 26th, and then June 7th we'll be at the Whiskey A Go Go.
Shout out to Whiskey Go Go. Yeah, a couple bands I interviewed that I play there.
Yeah, this is our fourth or fifth time playing there, as the Faltering Line. So it's always really great to play at the Whiskey, because I mean that's where a lot of the legends that we look up today have started were there. So be able to touch the same ground is pretty cool.
I know, right? And that is awesome. I remember talking with Nico before about them, and actually the clip just resurfaced not too long ago on Instagram. He was like talking about one of his older bands, and he was like, "Can you like just like fathom the bands we played with that turned out to be like, you know, bigger, or even the ones that, you know, stepped foot there and, you know, where they're at now? Like it's truly a legendary place."
And it's a place that where a lot of people just flock to. Like a lot of, like, I know Brian Fraser was there, like there, his son was playing and he just showed up right after he won that Oscar.
That's crazy.
Showed up. I mean, we're just, so like you never know. Like that's a place where you never know who's going to show up there. So, yeah,
that is awesome, man. And Blade, thank you so much, man, for being on the podcast. We covered so much. Just two more questions, and then we're all done here.
I'm having a blast, man. It's almost a shame.
I know, right? One of them is just anyone that you want to give a shout out to for always being, you know, super supportive, and just, you know, people to be on the lookout for, or just, you know, shouts out just because you love them.
So definitely Nathan Youngblood. Like I said, he from Youngblood Productions. He's always had our back. I work with him we work with him all the time, and he loves us, and he gives us a lot of love and support. So he has been such a he's just been an angel to work with. He's great to work with. Vulgar Productions, Isaac. From Vulgar Productions, without him we wouldn't have the fans that we probably have today, because he really helped. Like where we, I guess you can say, bursted, or where we like really got our ground was actually in the San Fernando Valley, the 818, and that's because of him.
Big shout out there.
He liked us, and he's kept us a lot on his shows, and like a lot of bands that we work with today, like, you know, with Liberty, Diabology, Ubiquity, Brunette, like all these bands, He Who Sleeps, like a lot of those bands is because of him. And like, again, like the people that support us are from his community is in the San Fernando Valley. So without him, that probably, you know, we wouldn't have gotten there. So Gage, the producer that we're working with right now, again, that man is doing so much for this band. It's insane. Like he's making us, again, like he's pushing us so hard to bring out the musicians that we have the potential to be. And that's everyone.
Awesome.
So, and he is the kindest soul I've ever like had the pleasure of meeting. He is such a cool, I mean, he's cool, dude's such a cool, sweet, funny guy. Like that guy is awesome. I every time we get to work with him, I'm always very excited to be in the same room. He's a really cool dude.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Big shout out to
and
you.
Then Nico, I mean, he's for the past month we've been working with Nico, and it has been just, I mean, it's definitely, yeah, he's been such a great help for us, and we wouldn't have gotten here on this podcast without him.
Shout out to you, Nico.
Yeah, he's that dude's a blessing to the band. I can't wait to keep working with him, and he's always a very kind dude. He's so cool to work with. I'm even featuring on one of his band's collaboration songs, and so I got to work with him in that field as well. So that was fun. He's just a fun guy to be around. He's an awesome guy. Yeah,
that is awesome, man. And one more. Yeah,
Fabian. He's been like he's been lately. He hasn't been to our shows, but I remember in the very beginning, he was always at our shows. He was always Fabian. He's always been a very close friend to the band. So yeah, him. He's a cool dude. He deserves a shout out.
Awesome. Yeah, support is true. It's true, man. We we're just talking about that. So shout out to you too, Fabian. And thank you so much, Blade, again. Where can all my peeps and future audience find you, or future audience, or new audience find you on social media and the band? And I'll make sure I put it in the description.
Yeah, for me, Blade Horrify on Instagram, and then the band, The Faltering Line, and our music is everywhere. Amazon, iTunes, Google, iHeartRadio, Spotify, everything. It's everywhere. So you can find us on all streaming platforms, and we are releasing a lyric video for Astrayed on Monday. So
awesome. Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Awesome.
Tomorrow.
And I can't wait. So, Blade, thank you again for being part of the People's Choice Podcast family now, along with the band Faltering Lines. I can't wait to see just the amazing work that you guys are going to continue to put out. I'm looking forward to that new single that's going to come out. You already just dropped Astrayed. So, I mean, sky's the limit. And, of course, congrats on your health journey, too. And I hope that continue to, keep killing it. And then, hey, I'm planning on going to California in September, so maybe I could see you, man. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, this has honestly probably been one of the funnest ones. Just the connection wise, the vibe. So this was a lot of fun doing.
Yeah, and I was literally thinking that in the background. I was like, damn, it's like I feel like I'm interviewing myself. Like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, this was actually I was a little nervous, but no, this was really easy, and it was a lot of fun being here. So thank you, man. Thank you a lot.
No problem. You're more than welcome anytime, brother. Anytime you want to come back on the show. So thank you again. We give you a round of applause because it's such a great interview, man. And we'll sign out here. Faltering Line, ladies and gentlemen. And you have a great one, brother.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right.